Hi, everybody. My name is Tim Jensen. I'm a Chief Brand Officer at Grunt Style, also the co-owner. I've been with the company going on 10 or plus 10 years now. So it's been a long and adventurous journey. But it's quite the pleasure to be where I am on this path. But as I think back of where I came from and to where I've gotten, it's quite an adventure. I started out in the Marine Corps in 1997. From there, I was an Amtracker in the fleet of the United States Marine Corps, and I hated garrison life. Absolutely hated it. It was not my jam. It was like bust rust, go to the field, come back, bust rust, go to the field, come back, go bust rust. It was monotonous and was not fun. And I got on in April 2001. But that and in 2001, went back to Chicago. September 11th happened, and found myself being drawn back into the Marine Corps and deployed with them in 2004, 2005. With a unit called the 2nd Battalion, 24th Marines Weapons Company. And we did some really great stuff in Iraq during that time period. We were deployed to the Triangle of Death and made a little bit of a name for ourselves. We're one of the first Marine battalions since Vietnam to be given a name by the enemy.
Wow.
And they started calling us the Mad Ghosts because we would appear out of nowhere and destroy the enemy and disappear just as fast. So it was kind of cool. And so I had a great time doing that, and ended my career 2005 when I came back from that deployment. Wanted to do more, but the next deployment we were going on was fob security, and again, not my jam.
What is fob security?
So imagine, if you will, going to a forward deployed area and sitting as a gate guard or a tower guard for 7 months. And not having the opportunity of going out and doing real combat patrolling, real work, and just getting stuck on a fob and providing security. Not my thing. So I ended up not wanting to do that, and ended my time. And I was a union construction worker in Chicago during that time period, and came back to my son. I had a son that was born while I was away, so that was extraordinarily difficult.
Being away from him.
Yeah, well, that wasn't difficult being away from him, right? Because I didn't really have that relationship. I know I had a son. I met him once before I got to before I deployed, and when I came back, he was a year old. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here? And now I'm being asked. Well, my new responsibility was being a father, and that was tough coming from a very difficult deployment. We lost a lot of Marines. We were involved in some very heavy combat, and coming to from a destroyer mentality into a nurturing mentality, it was a bit difficult for me and led me down some very dark roads, which ultimately had a very big impact on my life in a very negative way. And it was a tough period of time, and then lost a lot of bit of everything during that time period. And then I got myself back in the saddle, and found some employment. Well, I went to college. I quit my job, went to college, graduated college with a bachelor's degree in
What was your degree in?
Game theory and design. So the art and ideas of making games.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Never got to use it. But
I've heard that's pretty common of most college degrees.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tinker around with it in my off time at home, and I've got a couple games that I work on, and it's been fun. And so from there, I had a comic book company of my own for a period of time, published some comic books. And made some notoriety there, and it was featured in C2E2 and Wizard World Chicago several times. But that wasn't paying the bills. And my new wife at the time was like, Tim, you gotta get a job, you gotta make some money. I'm like, well, I got a job, I got a business, but she's like, it doesn't make money. So I had to move on from that. And that's where I found Grunt Style, and applied with them and started out folding t-shirts with that company, the lowest job in the business, and from there went on to really hold every position inside the business. And now it became a co-owner in 2017, and now I'm the chief brand officer. So run everything, all brand related items, driving that in the business. I also sit as the president of the Grunt Style Foundation. That's our 501c3 effort
Okay.
that we put forward into the veteran community, a veteran and active duty community, rather. And I'm just extraordinarily blessed to have this opportunity to contribute back into the community that is given so much to me,
Mhm.
uh, and really be surrounded by incredible people on an incredible team.
Yeah.
They're all marching towards an objective of providing a better outcome for our veterans and to
Mhm.
know, celebrate, defend the Constitution of the United States for the next generation. And that's what we do at Grunt Style.